One of Canada's most shocking true crime mysteries remained unsolved for almost half a century before modern forensic science finally brought it to a close. Sharron Pryor was born in the winter of 1959 in Montreal to a mother who had immigrated from Great Britain and a dad, George, who served in the Canadian Army. The couple fell in love quickly, married, and soon welcomed their first child, Sharron. 2 days before Sharron's second birthday, they welcomed twins, Doreen and Maureen, and later a son, George Jr. In 1962, the family moved to Manitoba when George was transferred for military service, settling in a quiet older neighborhood that felt safe. By 1965, the marriage had broken down. George continued his service while his ex-wife and 4 children moved into a military family assistance apartment in Langley. From an early age, Sharron was described as exceptionally kind-hearted, constantly rescuing stray cats and dogs and nursing them back to health, and she dreamed of becoming a veterinarian. Sharron also pursued sports and the arts. She joined a hockey club, took art classes, and learned needlework, suggesting a bright future full of possibility. On March 29, 1975, a typical Saturday for the Pryor family, 16-year-old Sharron woke, ate breakfast, and helped her mother put away groceries. After painting Easter eggs and preparing for the holiday, she and a neighbor girl planned to stop at the local sports association to pick up a Leo jacket she had earned by selling lottery tickets. The jacket was unavailable, so Sharron returned home, joined her mother and boyfriend Doug for the evening meal, and later asked permission to go to the nearby Marina Pizzeria. Although a neighbor initially accompanied her, she eventually left for the pizzeria alone at about 6 p.m. When Sharron failed to appear, her boyfriend John assumed she was with her friends, and her friends assumed she was with him. Her mother, however, began to worry the later it got. She stayed up watching TV, eventually calling Sharron's friends in the early morning, but none of them knew Sharron's whereabouts. At 6 a.m., April 1st, the mother looked out the window and saw a man taking a newspaper from a neighbor's doorstep. The front page displayed a photo of a girl's body found in the snow a short drive away. Police had not yet identified the victim, but a mom knows her daughter, and she knew it was Sharron. She called the police and learned the body was indeed hers. Forensic examination revealed a grim series of events. Sharron was found wearing only a suede jacket and blue sweater, her jeans a few meters away, and her underwear hanging from a tree. Her mouth taped shut, with chewed tape tangled in her hair and some clutched in her hand. The autopsy showed multiple blunt force injuries, crushed ribs, a broken jaw, a smashed nose, and expensive bruising. This indicated she had been beaten, strangled, and most likely raped before being left to die. Tire tracks about 50 feet away from the body and a trail of blood droplets suggested the victim had been carried in a vehicle rather than crawling on her own. A man's shirt near the body bore traces of binding, and a clear shoe print and a receipt for the unattained Leo jacket were also recovered. Following the discovery of Sharron, investigators questioned 38 people, detaining 6 who matched the description, but released them for lack of evidence. They focused on Frank Daly, the pizzeria manager, and examined the possibility of a serial killer who had also attacked a 23-year-old woman named Cheryl Roy near the same time. The case was further clouded by similar murders of Norma O'Brien, 1974, Debbie Fisher, 1975, and later Tammy Lakey, 1981, leading police to suspect a single sadistic offender operating in the region. Over the years, crucial physical evidence vanished. By 1995, The majority of the original items had disappeared, leaving only the victim's clothing and a shirt from a possible suspect for later DNA testing. The DNA analysis failed to find a match in the existing database. In 2000, the mother petitioned a new review of the case, and by 2012, a $10,000 reward was offered for information, yet no breakthrough occurred. Hypnosis session with the Cheryl Roy witness produced a likeness to serial killer William Patrick Fife, but no conclusive link was established. The decisive turn came in June 2022 when genetic genealogy techniques identified a DNA profile in the database that matched the sample from the shirt found at Sharron's crime scene. The profile belonged to Franklin Romine, a local resident who had died under mysterious circumstances in 1982. His remains were exhumed, and on May 23, 2023, the match was officially confirmed. Romine's appearance fit the eyewitness description. His car's tire tracks matched those near the body, and his criminal record included assault and rape, solidifying his connection to the murder. Police believe Romine abducted Sharron and, fearful for going back to jail again for rape, murdered her to keep her quiet. Although Romine could not be prosecuted, the case was finally closed, bringing a measure of justice to Sharron's family after 48 years of relentless advocacy and the advent of modern DNA technology. Now, this case is relatively short. However, there is not a vast variety of media on it, and most of it I found to be repetitive. I did not want to simply add filler material for the sake of making the video longer. Thank you for listening to Sharron's case. Do you think Romine had any other victims that were murdered that were not connected to him? I certainly believe it is possible. Maybe he just didn't want to go back to jail. I don't think Sharron was a one-and-done crime. This has been The Evidence Locker. Thank you for listening. This podcast is written and hosted by me, Shay, and edited by my husband Toby. If you enjoyed today's episode, give us a like and a follow. It really helps weirdos like me investigate even weirder cases like this. Stay curious, stay safe. Join us next week as we open another locker.